So we kick off the front page of the Times and vetting failures, at least one assumes they're failures in our police force, Leah.
Yeah, they're definitely failures. A report has just been released that has revealed that there are a lot of criminals and sexual predators that have been allowed to join the police due to failures in vetting. So obviously, if you join the police, you go through, a process where they check your background and make sure you're appropriate for the job. But apparently it's not been working. They've accepted applicants with convictions for robbery, indecent exposure and domestic abuse. One recruit was a pimp, and others, that's gonna help him discipline his girls. Be like, I'm gonna arrest you, as well as slap you with the back of my hand. And others have been lying about the family's involvement in serious crime, including drug dealing. So apparently there are as many as thousands of corrupt officers working in England and Wales. So I assume this report came about because of Wayne Couzens.
Yes.
And the revelations following that. Yeah. So it turned out the vetting wasn't particularly thorough with Wayne Couzens. His nickname was actually the Rapist. So if you can actually have a nickname, the Rapist, and still be employed as a police officer, then there's some failures.
That was an ironic nickname, I suppose, intended to be ironic.
Well, I had this conversation the other day. Of course, people in hospitals, the medical profession, are allowed to have a dark sense of humour, but the police aren't, by and large. And I think that's perhaps an indication of double standard.
Well, Harold Shipman's not.
Can I just clarify, and it might not even have been clear from the story, but is your impression that vetting processes fail to sort of highlight or illuminate these people's past, or they saw it and just sort of waved it through and went, well, he's got a history of domestic abuse, but I'm sure he's mended his ways now. Do you know what I mean?
I've been through some of these vetting procedures. In fact, because I used to be a criminal intelligence analyst, so when I stopped, I was going through DV vetting, which is the highest level. But I think for the police, it's just it's either CTC, so counter-terror checks, or SE, which is just security clearance.
Right.
And basically they check your sort of financials and stuff like that. But if you don't have any convictions, there's not, they don't go that deep. With DV vetting, so the highest level, they check. They even go as far as interviewing ex-girlfriends and friends and family and stuff to really.
So these people, they might not have convictions, but they may have been questioned before. Is it that sort of thing?
And you can have connections with people. I should imagine if they've been questioned or if they've been anything, that would come up on Criment or whatever system.
Bureaucracy involved in extensive vetting is, of course, unthinkable, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really impracticable. And it's always said that the police are a microcosm of society, and of course, inevitably, therefore, there are a percentage of wrong-uns.
Well, you might even say, I suppose you might make the case that it wouldn't hurt the police to have some people in who've seen the wrong side of the law.
Well, there's an argument that, of course, criminals and the police are all part of the same industry.
Yes.
So it's not that surprising, is it?
The criminal police, what do they call it? The military-industrial complex.
Absolutely,
yeah. But there is possibly that there may even be some sort of extent to which the brains are wired similarly. I don't know. You're sort of drawn into the same company.
Well, of course, the problem becomes manifest, doesn't it, if there is a disproportionate number of wrong-uns in the police force and who are clearly attracted to the service because of the opportunities that the service provides.
Yeah. So just being a priest might attract the wrong...
Well, they have addressed that for years. But genuinely, I remember the Sweeney. It was essentially predicated on the fact that they all went to the same pubs, wasn't it? And that was... It was probably... There was just more of a culture of looking the other way.
They might have to look at changing how vetting actually works, because at the moment about 3/4 of the vetting is sort of purely financial, to see if you can be blackmailed if you're in any financial trouble.
Yes, yeah.